Today we're going to talk about beginner drivers, new drivers, what you need to do. Let's go ahead and get it. Beginning drivers tend to not maintain a really good following distance. What does this mean? Because you're learning how to drive, you tend to follow cars very closely, but in reality, it's dangerous. One of the most common type of collisions is the rear end collision. Do me a favor, do your caregivers a favor, do your parents a favor. Beginning drivers, and a beginner is someone with less than 10 years experience. Take your time. Increase your following distance. I'm going to give you an example. Liam doesn't maintain a safe following distance. As a result, I told you about this, a rear end collision on the road can increase also with accidents. So when you're driving, you want to have a car length for every 10 miles an hour. What does this mean? If you're going 30, 10, 20, 30, you want to have about 3 car lengths. How do you find out your following distance? You pick a stationary object. It could be a sign. It could be a light pole. It could be a tree. Count 1001 when a car passes it, 1002, and 1003. Let's talk about distractions. One of my clients is a former fireman and EMS worker. He told me yesterday, one of the biggest things that caused people to have an accident is distraction. So I was like, wow, really? So what he told me, Ava frequently checks her phone while driving. We understand. We are creatures of habit. We love our phone. But what happens is this reduces your attention on the road. Let's pretend I'm driving right now. I'm looking, checking traffic. Then I look down and check my phone. I've just rear-ended someone. I've just ran a light. I've just missed my turn. What I need you to do is hands-free. It's so important that you understand about a safe driving environment. And once you understand that safe driving environment, you're going to be super successful. What is our learning target? Learning how to become a safe driver. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults. I teach teens. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me. And we're talking about safe driving practices to help all of you become safe drivers. Next, understanding right of way. By far, as an instructor, all of you need to listen. This is one of the most confusing and challenging things that leads to an accident, because beginning drivers forget and misinterpret a yield sign and a stop sign. So when you're supposed to stop, you yield and confuse people. When you're supposed to stop, you yield. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you see a stop sign, S-T-O-P, a red background, white letters, stop momentarily for 3 seconds. Count to yourself, 1001, 1002, and 1003. You look left to check traffic. You look right to check traffic. You look left again. Use your blinker. Your blinker will indicate where you are going. Don't assume people know what you're doing, because they don't. And then you're going to have an accident, an at-fault accident. Now your parents are upset, your caregivers are upset, and you're upset because your car will be at a body shop for about 3 months. So I really need you to understand those elements and be careful and be patient. What is our learning target? Our learning target is about beginning drivers. How do you become a safe driver? What questions do you have? I need you to type those questions in. Where are you from in the world? Ask these questions and you will get them answered. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults, and classes in session. Next, Ethan gets confused about right-of-way rules. 4-way stops, causing hesitation and frustration to other drivers. So you're not only hesitating at a stop, but you're frustrating other people. When you frustrate other people, they're going to act out of pocket. They're going to tailgate you. They're going to cut you off. They're going to swerve around you. Don't bring that on yourself. Next, dealing with emotional driving. Do you know if you're upset You're going to drive more aggressive, more reckless because you don't care. So what I need you to do is take a step back. Relax. If you're angry or something happened that is extremely emotional, you need to have someone drive you because you're not mentally focused on the driving aspect, because driving takes mental power. It takes you to process information. Okay, that's the yield sign. That's the stop sign. I got to get over to the left. That's the turning arrow. And then you realize I'm lost because I'm so upset and angry. So do yourself a favor. Don't drive when you're angry. And let's listen to this story. Dealing with emotions. Grace drives while upset after an argument, affecting her concentration and decision-making ability. I had a client yesterday. We were driving down the interstate. We saw a young lady and young man fighting in the car. The young lady bawling, tears coming down her eyes. The young man just screaming at her. They should not have been on the road. That was a terrible display of emotions, and I felt bad for my clients seeing that. No one wants to see couples arguing or fighting or someone mad. Take that in a private situation, because when you're driving like that, you're going to draw negative attention. What is our learning target? We're talking about beginning drivers. I am a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults. I teach teens. We're dealing with elements of beginning drivers. And if you have questions, you put those in. Next, let's talk about large trucks. Trucks have 4 blind spots: left side, right side, the front, and the back. You, as a beginning driver, get out of those no zones. What am I saying? Don't hang around trucks on the left side or right side, because if the driver can't see you in the mirror, you're in their blind spot. And when a truck comes over, they're going to come over and crush you on the guardrail on the left or force you off the road to the right. I've driven students and adults. They fear big trucks. They freeze. And I'm telling my client, please push the gas. Please push the gas. They freeze momentarily. And I know if I don't get them to snap out of it, meaning past this big truck, we're going to get crushed. Do yourself a favor, listen to me, and understand what I'm trying to say. Ryan feels nervous. We all feel nervous around big trucks, driving near large trucks or buses, unsure how to safely maneuver around them. Get out of those no zones. Let's talk about highway entrances and exits. This is another critical area that beginners hesitate on, because I drive clients and adults every single day. Merging on the ramp, you need to get up to a minimum of about 55 miles per hour. If you don't get up to 55 miles per hour, you're going to get cut off by cars, and you guessed it, big trucks. Do yourself a favor. Look, let's pretend I'm merging down a ramp right now. I'm accelerating right now. I look over my shoulder. I'm looking for a gap. If you don't model what I'm doing, everyone should be modeling. You're in a car, you're going down a ramp, you look over your shoulder and check. Is the truck going to run me over? Is someone going to get over? Most of the time, it's yes, they will get over, but sometimes they're not going to get over. We as myself as an instructor, you as a person learning how to drive, coach, uncle, driving with Myles, what do I do? Accelerate. Get your speed up so you can blend into traffic. Traffic on the expressway has the right of way. Please understand what I'm trying to tell you. Accelerate on that ramp. Here's the story behind the example. Chloe struggles with speed and timing. Beginning drivers lack timing. They lack speed. They have a difficult time judging how fast do I need to go. Remember, I'm your instructor. I'm in the passenger seat. I have a mirror. I have a brake, because this is a dual operated vehicle. I do not have a steering wheel. If you are not fast enough, we're going to have to abandon the merge and pull over to the right. How scary is that? And if you're on your road test, you're going to fail. F-A-I-L. So if you're feeling nervous, you need to accelerate. And this leads to a lot of danger. Dangerous situations where cars have to swerve to the left, out of your way, not to rear end you. Let's talk about reading maps and directions. You, as a beginner, need to learn how to read maps, need to learn your cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, northwest, southeast. You need to learn. But the reality is in 2024, we have digital maps. We have them on our phones. We have them in our car. Allow that system to guide you. I'm from the Midwest in the United States. Let's continue. Danielle relies heavily on GPS and gets flustered when it malfunctions. Your GPS will go in and out. Do you know that GPS, they have satellites around the world that help us understand where we are? You as a beginner need to learn mile roads. You need to learn street signs. You need to learn main routes and also sub routes. Okay. I have a content creator I do follow from India. I would love, do you drive a manual? Do you drive an automatic? Please share. Let's continue. So the GPS allows us through satellites to identify where we are, but they can be inaccurate. So you need to recognize landmarks. Hey, that's where the McDonald's is. And I need you to understand your best work. Let's continue. What is our learning target? Guiding young drivers, beginning drivers. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. We are talking about success and what do we need to do to help our beginning drivers to support them. Remember, beginning drivers don't judge distance very well. What does this mean? When you're driving with your caregivers or parents, you will pull out in front of a truck. Don't scare the parents. Next, I need you to understand the dangers of intersections. A lot of beginners get panicky and nervous when a light changes. Do I run the light? Do I slam brakes? If you can stop in 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, and 1003, you need to stop, pause. Don't get in a habit of running lights. Next, let's talk about reacting to road rage. Lily encounters an aggressive driver and doesn't know how to handle the situation, leading to increased stress and unsafe driving. This happened to all of us. We didn't use a blinker sometime. We cut off a sketchy person, and then they start following us. And they have a white creepy van, and their eyes are red. I'm getting carried away. You need to learn to be courteous. We all make mistakes. Keep it moving, keep learning, and accelerate through. Stay out of people's way. We are all human. We all make mistakes. So if you're encountering someone, go to an area where there's a lot of people and don't lead a person who road rages home. Dealing with traffic signals. I just talked about this. As beginning drivers, you tend to make decisions at the last second. Oh, I got to turn here. Oh, I got to make a left. It's shallow. I can go through. Oh, the light just turned green. Lights are on timers, anywhere from 30 seconds to 1 minute, 20 seconds. Pause, scan, look, be patient. Let the driving come to you. Don't make the driving, let the driving come to you. You will always have traffic lights. You will always have pedestrians. You will always have people who are tired, who are speeding, who are going too slow, who are going too fast. What I need all of you to do is pause for a second, right? And brake or squeeze to brake. Let's talk about dealing with traffic signals. James gets confused by complex light patterns, such as flashing arrows, flashing lights, and hesitation. I can't tell you how many times my clients have stopped in the middle of the road when we have a blinking yellow light. And then they slam brakes. We almost get hit by a truck. Use your intelligence, look at my videos, and help yourself understand about maintaining a good speed and good following distance. So much value here. What is our learning topic? Our learning topic is for beginning drivers, teaching beginning drivers. Don't understand. We have to push fear into the face. So I disagree with you. If you're scared to drive, have your coach, have your bestie, have your caregivers support you. We all support each other. And if you're scared, you're going to stay home the rest of your life and be scared. We're not little bunny rabbits. We're full-grown adults here. Driving is for an adult. Driving is not for kids. I have my clients who drive every day. Everyone's a little different. Anxiety, attention deficit disorder. Maybe they didn't sleep. Maybe they didn't eat. But staying home, being scared, you're not going to accomplish your goal because you won't get out and drive. I'm here to help you and understand that through our work, through us getting better, you will increase your opportunities for jobs, for opportunities, because when you drive and learn to drive, there's a whole world open up. Next, judging safe gaps in traffic. Remember, I told you that beginning drivers have a difficult time judging gaps. What does this mean? You're going to pull out in front of a truck. You're going to pull out in front of a bus. You're going to pull out in front of a car. So what's important is that you learn to judge distance. You want to make sure the car or truck is far enough away so you can turn in the nearest lane. Example, Sophia has a difficult time judging safe gaps. A gap is the space between cars. As a result, she pulls out in front of her car or makes turns or merges, often hesitating too long or cutting it too close. That's what beginning drivers do. They either cut it too close, we almost get hit, or there's a long gap and we just sit there. You're making drivers behind us angry. You're lighting the fuse, pow, for road rage. Let's talk about handling emergency vehicles. Lima panics when he hears a siren and sees flashing lights on an emergency vehicle, unsure how to properly yield. The rules in our country, in our jurisdiction, pull over to the right and pause. The emergency vehicle will circumvent and go around traffic. What I need you to do is look at my content, leave your comments and questions. I will go live later today. Bye.